Howdy everybody, it's Bake, another Rise of Firstborn video. Sorry it's been a while, but this one's pretty interesting to me. This is something that came out recently in the 6.4 update that came out last week. So, what I'm doing now is I'm setting my Savior Titan to my Guard Captain. Because they changed the traits on Savior Titan. So you can get a lot more stats using a lot less points, which means you can get a lot more points into your Titan stats on the Savior. Now, with the way that Preemptive Strike works, Titan kills are a big deal, both defending and attacking. This makes it a little easier to get Titan kills, number one. We'll go over it a little bit more, but you see, this is a standard hit right here. I take a hit, I have my Guard Captain as my Gatekeeper, which is, what we've been doing for the past however long Titans have been out. So, I'm going to show you the difference between using a Gatekeeper and using a Savior, and why I have transferred over to moving my Savior as my Guard Captain instead of my Gatekeeper. There's some things, it's not a huge difference, it's actually no difference in stats, other than Titan stats and the ability to use more Titan traits. It also just kind of gives you another thing to play around with, to move around and, just try to optimize as much as possible, because that's what's going to set you apart from everybody else, is if you just flat out optimize everything. So see, I took my Savior and I put on Battle Moonstones on it, and then I put on 2 Titan Moonstones. It's just the same as if you're using a Gatekeeper. You want troop defense, troop HP, attack debuffs. That's what you want. So, see that I'm on fire here because I took the hit with the Gatekeeper, and I am now checking all of my reinforcements to make sure that nobody is sending me tier 1, because I wouldn't put it past people in my alliance to, to send me tier 1 to get me to burn even harder. So that's that. But what I'm wanting is I want to burn right here, and I want to show the difference between a Gatekeeper and a Savior. That way, if you want to try it out, you can check it out. And I'll go over all the reasons that you might want to do that in just a minute. We'll go through it. But first, I wanted to show you the 2 hits. So we're waiting on the rally to get launched here. And again, this time I'm going to have my Savior. I'm checking all my boosts and everything else like that. And yeah, thanks to PSY for practice rallying me. Here comes the rally, and we'll see my Savior pop up out of my castle, which is hilarious to watch, as I'll show a little bit closer in just a second. But we'll see what the big difference here is in terms of Savior versus Gatekeeper. So, see my Savior pop up, and then here's the hit. I took slightly less losses, and that's because I got a little bit of Titan kills on that one. So, you see right there, but also see that I took more Titan kills, which is what is dangerous about using your Savior. But here's a good thing. Durability. You lose a lot less durability when you are defending with the Savior than you do when you're using a Gatekeeper. My Gate took 3%, my Savior took 0.5%. That's without a Titan skin. That's without... I've actually got my Savior traits set stupid on that one because I was trying to go for that. And then also, as DJ so eloquently put it in chat, the Savior popping up animation when you're defending is pretty hilarious. So watch this. I asked for a solo in AC because I didn't get a good view of it the first time. So this is probably the best part of using a Savior as a Guard Captain, is that it pops up and spins above your castle every time you get hit, which is pretty hilarious. Now, also, another big thing about if you do use a Savior as a Guard Captain, which is more for some bigger players, Dark Moon it's going to be helpful in, stuff like that. But check this out. If your Savior is set to Guard Captain, so see, I go check, double check, he's set to my Guardian Titan. Sorry, I keep on saying Guard Captain. But then watch this. I can send my Warlord with that march when I'm hitting this base, and then on the next march, I can also send my Gatekeeper. So I can send out 2 Titan solos. Or, if you have a rally set with your Gatekeeper, you can solo with your Warlord, that kind of stuff. And that's because you have your Savior set as your Guardian, whatever the hell it's called, Guardian Titan. So, anyways, I think that is pretty neat. So let's go over how to set up your Savior, because the Savior traits are all new and everything else like that. First and foremost, the Moonstones, you're going to set it up the exact same way that you set up your Gatekeeper, which is going to be troop defense, troop HP, attack debuff, rally attack debuff, and then 2 Moonstones of whatever you want. After that, I recommend Titan stats. So, most important stats on this, if you're using Gatekeeper, is if you're using him as your Guard Captain, you want both the attack debuffs, you want the troop defense, you want the troop HP, and then you want the rally attack debuff all the way at the end if you're going to be taking rallies. After that, this is a little bit more in your area. You get to decide what you want to do here. I have this showing how to stack all of the Titan defense possible. So this is going to be basically reducing the damage that their Titan does, and it's going to be increasing your Titan defense and Titan HP as much as possible. So that is how this setting is. One thing that is strong about Savior as the Guardian Titan is that if you switch some of those traits around into more attack, obviously you're going to want Titan attack, additional damage to tier 7 enemy, stuff like that, you can actually get a lot more Titan kills because you can pump a whole lot of stats into those traits. So now let's see what I'm talking about. See how you're getting 200% on all of those, and then 200% there, 200% there. That is why the Savior is strong, because you only need to set up one tile, or take one set of buffs on that. If you go look at the Gatekeeper, you're going to see that it's going to take the same amount, you get the same amount of stats by setting these traits, but it takes a lot more to do that. So you kind of hurt your ability to stack up Titan damage or stack up Titan defense and HP because you're using so many points. Granted, you do have a lot more points with Gatekeeper, but I'm just finding that the Savior, if you are not going to use it set out in the world, then it is a really, really good guard captain because of these reasons. Because it does give you extra points, it gives you a lot more ability to play around with the traits, get some Titan damage, or just stack up a whole lot of Titan defense and HP. And then obviously the durability loss is a good thing, especially for big people that are, one of the common ways to zero a big person in the game right now, by common ways I mean I've seen it done before, is to just hit them over and over and over again until you break their guard captain Titan. I had it happen to me. I didn't get zeroed, but I had it happen to me where my Guardian Titan got broken, and because I just got soloed over and over and over and over again. And so then, it's always fun on a Friday night when your line starts blowing up with phone calls with everybody in your alliance calling you to say, oh my God, your Titan's dead, you're burning. So this will help reduce that from happening as well, if that might be something that could happen to you. It's pretty much, bigger players need to worry about that, but it is what it is. So that's that. Now, additionally, the new Titan cores that have come out and the other settings and everything else like that. If we go and look at those, there is also a large difference between, well, not large, but there's a difference between the way the Gatekeeper is set up and the way that the Savior is set up on what the cores are going to give you. So let's look at Gatekeeper first and hit that little gear icon over to the right. And we'll see that he's got Titan critical hit damage. Look at the core enhancement down there. Guard damage taken, enemy Titan HP degrees. And then the last one, at the very bottom, is he adds troop defense upon Titan usage. Obviously, you're using your Titan if you're defending with him. So Gatekeeper is going to give you more troop defense. If we go look at Savior, Savior is going to give you pretty much all the same stats on the top ones. But then the very last one at the bottom is going to add troop HP. So a lot of people prefer stacking HP over defense. I'm personally a defense person. That said, if you can keep your defense from getting zeroed, troop HP is obviously always good to stack. So smaller players using troop HP is a good idea. All that said, you still need to be sitting in a Savior if you are taking hits out in the world. So you should only do this if you have a buddy or an alliance mate that is going to have a Savior out. Don't sacrifice sitting in a Savior to make this into your guard captain. However, this is another tool to put in the toolbox, make things a little better. I am working on a video to go over the Titan cores and everything else like that a little bit more in depth, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, all that other stuff.